I essentially have been censored, or my Twitter account is currently locked because of a tweet that I don't believe broke the terms and conditions. The content of my tweet was that that there's a genocide going on against Palestinians. But by comparison, the US is constantly telling us about a Uyghur genocide happening in China, but I've seen actual evidence of a genocide against Palestinians, whereas I've not seen evidence for a genocide against Uyghurs in China. And yet, we don't really talk about that. And the truth shall set you free. That is essentially the content of my tweet, was to compare what's going on in Palestine, which I think is legitimately a genocide, versus what the US is telling us is happening, that China is committing, and why one is being focused on and the other is ignored. So Twitter, told me I have to delete this because it breaks TOS, and if I were to delete it, I will get 12 hours only, like a 12-hour ban, and then I can have my Twitter account back. But instead of doing that, I thought, I'm not going to accept this. I'm going to take a stand. So I requested for the tweet to appeal, thinking that if a human being were to see this, they'd realize this is like my right of an opinion. I'm not harassing anyone as claimed on Twitter. But what I got back from them was, this breaches our denial of violent events content. So they have a rule against denying violent events. But I've not seen anyone from the Israelis or the Zionist lobby get banned for denying the genocide against Palestinians. But if you deny, sorry, my lights just turned off. I'll just need to turn it back.
That's right.
But if you deny, or even if you question something that's coming from the State Department, for which no international body has ruled that there's any kind of genocide happening against Uyghurs in China, then suddenly now you're questioning the narrative of the State Department, and hence you must be banned.
That's interesting that you say that there's been no one has confirmed or has declared officially that there's a genocide. The UK government definitely said something, and I spoke to, I don't want to get bogged down in this bit, but I spoke to Dr. Erkin Siddiq, who's a scientist at NASA, and he's from Xinjiang, and he has been back there personally, and now can't go back out of fear of persecution. So, he seemed pretty genuine when he was talking to me. So I just want to make sure we don't say that it's definitely not happening, because but the what you're saying about the double standards is
correct, because a genocide is where you don't want, and you will exterminate an entire ethnic group because they you don't want them to live in this area. With Palestinians, because they're not Jewish, the Zionists do not want them to exist in the Levant, basically. And so that's why they're pushing them out of their homes, they're killing them, they're putting them in jail. They're not giving citizenship, so they're considered non-people. We've seen videos of violence, we've seen the evidence. By comparison, there's no such equivalent happening in Xinjiang province that I've seen. You can say that you can't say that there's prison camp, you can say that maybe their rights are being violated, but to call it a genocide, that is a completely different and legal issue. And that's why I think that what the US has done is try to redefine the word genocide, because there isn't a mass violence event, basically, like the Nakba for Palestinians, where they were actually ethnically cleansed and made to death march across the desert to Jordan. That hasn't happened in Xinjiang. So I'm just trying to point out that there is a hypocrisy here. Not to say that individual rights, that's a different topic. But even the CFR and the Economist recently said, is genocide really the right word to use for Xinjiang? So the Economist and the CFR can make such comments, but I can't tweet, comparing what's happening to Palestinians to what's happening in Xinjiang province, because I think this has really got nothing to do with the Uyghurs or Xinjiang province. I think that this is the Zionist lobby trying to exploit the rules of Twitter to silence me because I said there was a Palestinian genocide. And that's really the main issue here.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the podcast. Don't forget our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and my book, Brexit, the Establishment Civil War, can both be found in the links in the description below. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's the best way to help us grow. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Screw the hedge funds.
You can make as many rules as you want, but if there's no teeth behind them, what's the point?
Well, like Citadel is potentially just gone in a few months. It feels like financial institutions, that they are all laughing at us by buying GME. Screw the hedge funds. Like, I will lose my entire investment if it brings them down.
Why on earth, last May, could you buy the entire company for $200 million?
What's been happening on Reddit and in social media and in the marketplace has never been seen before.
I argue that nothing is off the table. There is nothing off the table when dealing with the volumes of money in something as big as the United States stock market.
The hedge funds have clearly underestimated a group of people raised on Friday night World of Warcraft raids.
Dark pools, they're another mechanism to manipulate and cheat. Mainstream journalists don't say these things for a number of reasons. One is their sources are the people that I'm talking about, and so they can't call somebody a crook.
Superstonk and the other communities that have emerged are a hive mind, the likes of which we have never seen before. It's madness and brilliance, insanity and genius all rolled into one. It's very possible that Citadel will be gone in a few months. And not just Citadel, but the entire financial system has the potential to come crashing down. These crooks continue to gamble recklessly with the world economy, and this could be the moment that they finally get their justice.